Assalamu alaikum, this is Ameen welcoming you to episode 186 of the Heist podcast. In this episode, I'm going to do the intros like this from now on, I think. Let me know what you think in the Telegram group. What you can expect from this episode is a good one. What do we talk about? We talk about like how the climate's a bit weird, a bit changing. We talked about the dark future of AI and the reality of AI. We talk about, I have a bit of a rant about Instagram, how awful it is. And we talk about a clip of mine that got a lot of backlash apparently. And yeah, overall, great episode. Enjoy. Listen to that, brother. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome to Heist. So yeah, bro, I landed last night.
Oh yeah.
Erdogan was there at the airport.
He
with
said
the usual. Yes, with the usual, what's that word? What's that word for the people that are like around you, like your
entourage.
Entourage, that's the word. He's there with the usual entourage, you know? Yeah, that's why I'm not using my normal webcam. I haven't even unpacked it. I woke up, I was very delayed getting home compared to what was planned. And then crashed, fell asleep, woke up, meeting in 10 minutes. Boom, meeting. Boom, second meeting. Little break. Boom, third meeting. This is the life of a rock star, bro.
Heist, baby. Muslim CEO.
Yeah, so in my mind, I was like, okay, so I'm going to land around 11:30. It was supposed to be 11:30 p.m. All right? I'm like, no, it's not the best, but I was like prioritizing leaving later in the UK. You know, you don't want to wake up early and like, you want to be on a chill one when you're leaving, right? Yeah. And it was a chill one. So that was good. But then the flight was like delayed a little bit. And then I was delayed like an hour and a half at passport control because my son's an illegal immigrant and stuff.
Thought so.
And then obviously because we were late there and we went to get the baggage, that had been gone because you know, we were so late. So all that added up. But mashallah, tabarakallah, the driver, the taxi driver that I like hired to take us home, whatever, he just waited. He's like, I've been waiting 2.5 hours for you. I'm like, well, thanks. I mean, I don't know what to say to you. Like, that's very nice of you. The worst thing is, I'm like a kind of card only guy. So I can't even like give money to anyone like that. Unless like now and then I have some money, cash on me. But that was nice of him. That was like a highlight, I suppose. And my sons were very patient. I mean, mainly like the older one, like he could have, I feel like that's a typical time where it would kick off. It would go nuts. But he was very patient, mashallah. So that was great. And so I arrived, instead of, I was thinking I arrived around half midnight, but I arrived like 4 a.m. And then I didn't factor in the fact that when you have 2 kids, it's going to probably take an hour just to get to sleep because of different things and stuff. So, yeah, you know, the more you travel, the more you learn these things, I suppose. But there are a few things I've learned over the years, and I try to always remember them so I don't repeat the same mistakes every time.
No, alhamdulillah.
Do you have any of those kind of like things you've learned, like how to, like little hacks, like hacks for traveling?
We haven't traveled too much with the kids, but you know what? Just getting in the car is such a mission. Just getting 3 in the car and making sure everybody's ready. And now there's this phenomenon that happens with us where we keep thinking we've got another child because you just think, right, he's here. Where's the other one? And I'm like, I remember the other day, I was like, where's the other one? Where's the other one? I realized, wait, no, I've only got 3. Okay. You know what I mean? It happens all the time.
So you're mentally prepared for another one, yeah?
Yeah. Bro, do you know what? I think, I don't know how people who don't plan for kids do this. Like people who, you know, like teenage pregnancies and like accidents, quote unquote, and all this stuff. If you're not invested and this isn't what you want, I don't know how they go through it because like it's, you know, me and my wife, we definitely wanted kids and we plan to have kids, alhamdulillah, and we've got kids, alhamdulillah. And if that wasn't the case, you know what I mean? It would be a very uphill battle, let's just say.
Bro, I know somebody who, or you could say I heard of somebody who, they've got 2 kids. The dad is very much the type where he's like, work. My life is my work. blah blah blah, like good job, very good job, good pay, all that. Kind of solve kid problems with money kind of person.
Yeah.
And then the mother is like, I don't really want kids. Didn't really want kids.
Right.
So she's her life seems, from what I've heard, like her life seems to be all about how can I live as much of a life as possible as though I don't have kids. So like they got a full-time nanny, and so when they don't have the nanny, like she just put them in school, even though it's a bit too early, just dropped them in school, and you know the nanny is there like, I don't know, 9 to 5-ish, something like that, and the nanny's not going to do a mother's job or a father's job, right? Like the nanny's going to just occupy them, if you like.
Yeah.
But I've seen the nanny with the kids, and she's like pushing them in the pram and like on her phone. Like it's not like, you know, it's her job in the end. It's not a thing. And then just to imagine like having parents, like especially mother, where she's like, yeah, I don't really want kids. You would grow up messed up, man. I think like.
Yeah, because it doesn't always have to come out as conscious behavior.
Directly,
it's just subconscious stuff. Because we all do stuff, bro. We all do and say things that we're not even aware of, and that's the stuff that people pick up on. The stuff that tells me about you, Ameen, is going to be the stuff that you don't even realize you're doing.
For sure.
Do you know what I mean? Those are the things we pick up on as human beings.
For sure.
So yeah, absolutely, subhanAllah, absolutely. So you got to be in it to win it. You got to be in it to win it, and it's a beautiful adventure for those that want to be in it. I'll give you a funny story that happened the other day. So like we're homeschooling now, right? My wife, homeschooling is homeschooling, but we don't want to always be stuck at home. We want to go out and educate outdoors. Yeah. So my wife found this amazing, it looked amazing, sounded amazing. This like allotment group kind of outdoor gardening, out in the wild, raising hens, sort of almost homesteady kind of place in town, but they've got allotments. You know what allotments are for those unaware. It's like a space of greenery within a city that has like greenhouses and vegetable patches and all this sort of stuff. And it was actually organized by like a group of homeschoolers. So my wife's like, oh, this is brilliant. And they turned out they have like a free trial day, and then afterwards you can pay for to go on a weekly basis. Anyway, so they go there. The kids love it. I didn't go, unfortunately, I was working, but kids absolutely loved it. Climbing trees, checking out chickens, making vegetable soup on a fire, this kind of stuff. Awesome. Sounds
That's
great.
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds made to me too.
And then what
anyway, and then obviously my wife's like, this is how much it costs, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, sweet.
How much?
Oh, I can't remember. I've deleted all of that from I'll tell you why I deleted it.
I'm all about the financials. Yeah,
I'll tell you what. No, because I think it was like £90 something a term, which isn't too bad. I don't know how long a term is, but
is that like 3 terms a year kind of thing? 100
possibly, 3 or 4 terms a year.
270 a year,
possibly. But you know what? Anything to get them out and about and engaging and stuff like that. So I was prepared to pay. And then she's in this Telegram group, because that's how they organize things. And then they were like, oh, next week we're going to do a puppet show and blah, 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 and all this stuff. Okay, that's not too bad. Anyway, bro, then they send a message saying, next week we're going to do this ritual where we we have to name trees and then bless them with all this voodoo stuff and blah, blah, blah. And we're going to do that to all the trees and bless them so they all grow and all this shirky stuff. That was it. Game over. And then suddenly it became like, oh, these are these pagan hippie guys in the woods.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. And then suddenly you realize, oh, maybe we can't even eat any of this food that's being grown, even though it's not meat or anything. It just became, I don't know. You could either say grey area at least, and at worst, it's
black area,
completely forbidden area, which is a shame. And now my wife was super gutted. We haven't told Suleiman yet, but we're going to try and find him something else, some other alternative.
I mean, I think
it just shows you.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, it just shows you sometimes you can try so hard to get away from things, and you'll just run into it. You get out of school and think, oh, let me do some other stuff, and you just run into it in the wildest way. So, yeah, go for it. What were you saying?
Yeah, I think there are allotments in many cities where you rent your own plot.
Yep.
And then you do your own thing. But I guess the social element is nice as well, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
But maybe you can What I think, bro, is a lot of this like homeschooling stuff, especially amongst the Muslims. Well, like obviously I'm thinking about in non-Muslim countries, but even in Muslim countries, you kind of have to be the pioneer, right? And like you might get your own allotment, and then you can invite a few people. Then it might take off from there, and it'll be like a Muslim. You could be open to non-Muslims, but because you kind of founded it, you're going to have set the principles, kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I was quite. We were quite amazed, actually. I mean, we embarked on the journey, and suddenly lots of us were getting both of us were getting like messages and stuff from friends, like not people, like not necessarily strangers, but friends that we knew that actually just decided to do it because we did it, or they were inspired. I don't want to give us all the credit, of course not, but
tip them over the edge, maybe.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, just tip them over the edge and saying, you know what, why not? Because I've realized there's a lot of brothers I'm friends with that their wives are at home, at least for the time being. And I think there was this borderline like tipping point. I haven't got the article in front of me, but there was some news story about curriculums in the UK changing in September to for certain social justice studies, whatever you want to call it, certain kind of social family dynamic studies, not studies, but lessons where they will teach what a normal family is. And in that normal family isn't what we consider a standard traditional normal family. And then they were interviewing some children regarding the lessons, and the children were just talking as if what they were being taught is completely normal, completely fine, you know. And then you realize, wow, that is their norm now. Like that is their norm because that's what they've been taught. Yeah. So how do you manage
like that generation onwards? It's like,
yeah, bro, this generation, because it is going to start in those younger years. It's going to be a difficult time. It's going to be a difficult time. So you just got to do what you can, bi'idhnillah. And at least when I was telling one of the brothers the other day, I think it's one of those things where you just have to try. And I might have said it last week. You've got to try, because at least Yawm al-Qiyamah you can say you've tried, as opposed to not trying and then having no excuses, right?
Yeah.
You know, try for hijrah, try for homeschooling, try to find a way out, keep going. Don't just give up, lay on your back and say, oh, well, it's too difficult. Guess this is just the cards we're dealt with. You've just got to strive for the pleasure of Allah. And this is one of those ways. Getting out of those areas, getting out of the calamities around you is part of striving, because otherwise it's detrimental to your deen and you'll be questioned about your flock. So you could do everything in your capability and you could fail, quote unquote, but at least Allah knows that you did everything in your capability. But you have to question, did you do everything in your capability?
Yeah.
That's it, man. That's what it's about.
You know, I was thinking last episode about, you know, you said this generation onwards, you know, they're going to think that's normal, etc.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, but now I think I was corrected. Like, I thought we're the first generation to have experienced so many civilization-altering technologies come into place in one lifetime, right? So I was thinking of the internet, mobile phones with internet, and then we're going to witness like the AI revolution or whatever, if you like.
Yeah.
But then I was kind of corrected, because in my mom's lifetime, for example, or my parents' lifetime, they witnessed, I mean, I guess I don't know too much about, you know, commercial airline, like that kind of was around, that kind of kicked off most like 50s, 60s, I think.
Yeah.
So like commercial airlines, like flying, like being normal for a normal person to fly. Yeah. That was in that generation. Then the television was that generation. The radio was that generation. Yeah. What else? Obviously the cars.
But we had the internet, bro.
I know. But these are still all like civilization altering technologies.
Yeah.
You know, even in the 70s, it was the Green Revolution, which was basically the agricultural revolution, where fertilizers, pesticides, GMOs, these things came like mainstream, which changed the abundance of food. I believe that's a big reason why we have so much choice of food and stuff like that in at least in a lot of countries. So Yeah, I think our parents could compete with us on that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just like the AI thing seems, I don't know, I feel very aware of the changes that have happened in just my lifetime. But I think it's the same. Even our parents, like, alhamdulillah, my parents are still alive, your mum's still alive. And our parents are also going to witness the AI revolution, inshallah.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? So I think they're beating us, actually, for sure.
Yeah.
But before our grandparents' generation, I think, there were much less of these kind of civilization-altering technologies in one go.
It'd be interesting to see where things go in the next 10 years, bro.
Interesting is an understatement, I think.
Absolutely. But, there's always that fear of it going completely south or continuing in the trajectory of, tech evolving. People have always, like doomsday preppers, always scared that, right? We're going to tip over the edge and then suddenly something's going to happen. The launch codes are going to be inputted and boom.
The thing is, though,
back to square one.
Like, I often questioned, like, this criticism of capitalism and, like those, those type of people I'm talking about, they're always on about capitalism, this kind of socialist, communist kind of rhetoric. That's what I get from it. Although there's some of them are Muslims and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's kind of hand in hand, like liberalism and capitalism, they come together to make the point of every technology and everything we work hard towards is towards the goal of freeing ourselves up to do the most pleasure possible. Yeah? So, like, what do people hope will happen with AI and this and that? It's like, I don't have to do that rubbish work, or robots can do this for me, and I can just live my best life and whatever, yeah? But the dark truth, bro, is that without work, and especially even work that's like challenging and sometimes you don't like it and stuff, bro, people just kill themselves, bro. You think they're gonna like love life? Like when they got nothing to do and no duties, and like robots and AI doing the duties for them? No, bro, that will be mass suicide. Like literally mass suicide. That will not like be a good place. But that's where everyone seems to want to go. But I think it was not a nice place to go.
Yeah. Although I think that's just like giant corporations want to force that so that, like we said, they can just eliminate payable labor and then maximize profits even more. That's the only reason it would be pursued upon. Because all this stuff that they're building it takes a lot of funding, and there has to be someone with money in their pockets has to be investing into this stuff. And rarely anybody with that kind of money is going to be doing it for the fun of it. They're going to be doing it because they're going to seek a return somehow. Yeah. And the long-term return is going to be...
But people also like the idea of not doing work.
True. But I don't think it's... I don't know. I think they will like the idea up to a certain point until it comes for them, and it comes for whatever they do for a living, right? However they get money.
But let's say, because I think the natural root of this is UBI and stuff, right? Universal Basic Income. So let's say your job goes, your job's gone, like AI is doing it for not for you, but for your employer. And then you get the UBI instead. You just get basic wage, like from the government every month, and you're surviving. And now you're freed up to do your creative passions. Yeah, bro. Bullet in the head within 12 months, bro.
Oh, you are dark. I don't know, man.
I just think and by the way, I only think that I think this way because of Islam, and because like Allah gives us a purpose, and within our purpose of worship is like hard things, right?
Yeah.
And like working and striving. And part of striving is obviously working for a living, but striving in your ibadah, in charity and this and that. And that kind of gives me this mindset that like ultimately, if you believe there's a creator, you kind of believe that there's a natural way of things, and that if you mess the balance up, that things are going to go wrong. But if you don't have that worldview, then it's kind of like, well, okay, well, obviously they don't think this directly or consciously, but subconsciously it's like, well, I just want the most pleasure possible. Like, what else would I want to get out of life?
Yeah.
Some people talk about purpose and this and that and vision and legacy, but it seems like something reserved for the ultra rich kind of thing.
It'd be interesting, man. I think like some people have some ideas of just, I just want to travel the world, and that seems to be a running theme.
Yes.
But I don't know. I don't really know what people want. I just want to feel.
What do you think about traveling the world? I think it'd be cool like assuming like before I was married, for example, like if it was just like very simple and all that, then like 1 year maybe would be useful and insightful. But I realized something about myself is I could have traveled more than I did, and I can travel more than I do, but I actually really just like stability. It kind of drives me nuts to like lose stability and routine. I just realized that about myself.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure about the world in general, like just to be traveling, but there are certain places I'd like to go to, but not too many. Like I'd like to go Mecca, Medina, no doubt, for Umrah and Hajj. After that, I want to go to Japan. And that's about it.
You know, a new place I just thought of that I want to go to is Chile.
Okay, I've never heard that.
I want to go to that tip at the end, which is near Antarctica.
Oh.
I just think that's like another planet. It will feel like another planet.
Yeah.
It's like the edge of the world kind of thing.
Why not?
You know? Yeah. I think it's called, I looked it quick on the map, it's called like Tierra del Fuego, like land of fire or something. Maybe there's volcanoes over there. But yeah, I think that and like Iceland kind of thing, like these are kind of landscapes where it's like you feel you're on another planet. New Zealand as well, potentially.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine going there with kids.
The real test is to go there without a camera and see if you can resist, taking photos for the social media. Because a lot of people just want to travel for the clout of it.
Well, you know, I can do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Bro, I was looking at Umrah as well, right? So I was surprised. I think flights have just gone through the roof in the last 2-3 years, right? Like the prices, because it seemed to be about the cheapest I found direct from UK to Jeddah was £800.
Oh.
Now, I remember I used to fly London, Dubai, or even Birmingham, Dubai for £300.
Yeah.
On Emirates, direct flight. And obviously it was like, that was in a good season, like off season or whatever. So £300, maybe in the peak season, it would be £400 return, on Emirates, A380, double decker, you know the deal,
You know it.
But now it seems to be like just normal, like Saudi Airlines going direct. It's like £800, £1,000 kind of thing. So that's kind of mad, That's kind of mad.
Isn't it? It's all. I know Umrah is Umrah. You can still do Umrah through other organizations, right? Or is it just Hajj that's directly through the?
I don't know, but what I know is that now you can just get a visa on your own. You don't need any organization to get you a visa or agency. You could just get your 1-year visa. The 1-year visa allows you to stay in Saudi for 90 days in a year, and you have multiple entry-exit, and that's very easy to get. So you just need to sort out your hotel and your flight, and you can go. But
I was seeing all those videos where it's all green now.
Yes.
Signs of the hour.
Someone said that's normal, though.
Yeah, someone did tell me that's normal. Although someone also said it's not. It hasn't been as. It's normal, but it's not as wide. It didn't used to be as widespread as it is right now.
Bro, definitely in the last 3-5 years, things that used to be normal for a time of year seem to have changed. Right? Like, for example, now in Istanbul, it's mid-December and it's still like 11 degrees. I don't think that's not normal,
We've had, I don't know if you're in touch with family in Algeria, but like they had droughts for weeks and weeks and weeks. They were doing the salat for rain. That my auntie had to water all the plants that we've got like in the garden and stuff with a hose pipe in the middle of January, bro, because there was no rain, which is crazy. And then I was looking at the map and it was like all of North Africa just didn't have a cloud on it at all. I was looking at like the forecast.
It seems like winter's delayed, basically.
Well, then again, it was freezing here. You landed during that cold snap, I think, or maybe you just missed it.
Yeah, I did. That was my first few days like that. But then it went up again, and it even like when I was leaving the UK, it was quite warm for December.
I don't know, man.
So I think I know what you're talking about. That was like an anomaly those few days. But winter in a lot of places seems to be delayed. So I would expect the normal January weather will come in February or something.
Yeah, possibly.
Which means it might be quite a chilly Ramadan.
Alhamdulillah, man. I'd like it to be chilly. I'd like to try and, I don't know what the future holds during that time, but it's going to be interesting. Kids won't be at school, so we'll see. I don't know if kids can manage a little Taraweeh session. Imagine a 5-year-old doing Taraweeh, or 6-year-old doing Taraweeh, bro. Challenge.
I think a lot of people that have told me they have good memories of going to Taraweeh as a kid and just playing. And just like associating with the Taraweeh through just being there, really, not really praying. Then maybe at a certain age, maybe 10, 11, they could start praying or something along.
Yeah.
Gradual, innit? Like, let them do 2 rak'ahs, then let them do 4, and then 6.
We'll see, inshallah. I think I just get worried. You can't help it. Like, it's just trying to have that khushu', because you don't know where they're running off to and who they're going to.
Oh, that's for sure, yeah. Yeah, you need to, if you're going to bring them, you need to know, like, they're sorted out somehow.
Yeah, 100%.
Bro, we had, like Turkish kids are quite like disciplined and stuff, right? MashaAllah.
Yeah.
And then the Arab kids here are not so much like that. They're kind of opposite, I guess, kind of wild. So I was praying in a masjid with a lot of Arabs, and it was nuts, bro. Like they were screaming and playing, and just they get excited. They're all together and everything. Yeah. And after every like 2 rak'ahs, maybe 4 rak'ahs, the imam's saying, like, please, guys, like, just sort it out. Like, come on, like, take your son and put him next to you and let him pray next to you. Otherwise, don't bring him. Yeah. Like, it's getting that bad. And he started like getting mixed up with his recitation. And then like he said that many times, and then they still brought their kids and they still let their kids just go wild. And then he said, can we have a volunteer that's just going to like look after the kids, make sure they're either praying or they're just playing quietly. So then eventually they had that. But it's a good thing that these parents felt like, yeah, my kids are fine, let them play around the masjid, it's safe. That's good, but yeah.
Turkey's quite good for that, I hear. You see those viral videos all the time, accommodating for children and stuff.
Yeah, they love kids, bro, so much. I've never seen that in my life. Like on the plane, the pilot, he says, ladies, gentlemen, and children. Have you ever heard that before?
No, I haven't.
Yes, they're obsessed, mashallah. And like I told you, I got stopped at passport control, and it's like you're dealing with the police, like immigration police, and bro, they just see my son, they're like, oh, he's so cute. Bro, I bet they just let us off because of how cute he was.
Absolutely, bro.
They're profiting to kids, mashallah. And they always the imam at the masjid, he's always got after every like dhuhr or something, he's got just like sweets, juice boxes to give to kids, just randomly.
Yeah.
So that is not just a stereotype. I've seen that for real.
Do you think you're going to, personal question really, but do you think you'll be there for longer? Or have you got any plans of changing
Be where?
In the next few? In Turkey. You think that's it for you?
No, I'm here, bro. I'm here till the election kicks us out, bro.
When's that happening?
The election could happen any time after the 6th of April, I think.
And then
so it's like April, May, June, July, like one of those months. I don't think they've decided yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, my visa's up for renewal right now, so I'm going to do that. Inshallah, go through, and then that'll give me another year, and then, yeah, it's good, bro. I don't see any better options. Yeah.
I see that. They're going to make sure all the Ameens get kicked out of the country, bro. That's what's going to happen. All the Ameens can go. All that nationalism is just, all that Ertuğrul is just paid off, hasn't it? Keep Turkey great again. I'm watching another Turkish show at the moment, funnily enough, but it's more of it is kind of dramatized, but it's like a documentary as well. It's, oh God, what is it? It's like something to do with the Ottomans. Oh God.
I know there's Alp Arslan.
Rise of Empires, Ottoman.
Oh, Rise of Empires.
It's a docudrama.
Is this made by Turkey or someone else?
It's a collaboration. It's definitely, Turkey's got a big hand to play in it because all the actresses are Turkish.
Yeah.
And it's in, the director is Turkish, but it's Netflix funded. It's basically like Constantinople being taken over like that with
Muhammad al-Fatih, yeah.
Mohammed al-Fatih. I never know if I should call him Mehmet or Mohammed al-Fatih. But yeah, so that was an interesting one. I finished season 1 and he took over Constantinople. It was quite an interesting kind of thing to see. Because yeah,
it's supposed to be like historically accurate.
Well, it's dramatized like it's almost like a series, but they every now and again they cut away to like a professor or a historian or whatever and say, during this time he was doing this and this and this and this happened and blah, 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 blah. But then they do fill it up with like nonsense, like stuff that actually isn't anything to do with history. Yeah, I was trying to wrap my head around it a bit. I need to read more about him because I didn't like how he was portrayed personally. But then I don't know if that was an accurate portrayal or not. It could be an accurate portrayal, and I'm just not a fan.
Yeah.
But they were making him out to be. He was acted to be a bit like arrogant and a bit, just a bit extra and too much. But none of that arrogance was mentioned by the historians. When he would actually do something, then the historians came in, like when he dragged the boats across the land to.
I was going to ask you, did they mention that? Is that like legit? Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was part of the thing. It was part of the.
That's
insane,
insane,
bro. Honestly, I was like, yo, I was sitting there like, whoa, come on.
This is next level effort, isn't it?
But also the tactics prior to doing that, because you had to be able to do it in such secrecy that they Constantine and his people.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah.
Wait, we have to explain for the listeners. Yeah.
So. You want to explain it? Shall I try and explain it?
Okay, I'll explain it, then you correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, go on. You're in Turkey, bro. You can look out your window and be like, yeah, so over there, they did that. Yeah, man.
So Muhammad al-Fatih, the Muslim army, they're going to take Constantinople from, who was there? Romans, right?
Yeah, Constantine. Romans, yeah.
Maybe a bit of Venetians as well. But anyway, so there's the Bosphorus, right, which cuts, today it cuts through Istanbul. And so... they had boats. Obviously, the best way to attack Istanbul is via boat. But I believe the Romans had amazing defenses all along the coast. Probably had some, don't know if they had cannons, at that time, I think.
Yep.
They had cannons. And so it would be difficult. But what they did was, and the main city of Constantinople is on that kind of a peninsula part, right? Mm-hmm. Where it's the Golden Horn, it's called. The Golden Horn goes inland. And then you've got the Bosphorus. So you've got these two bodies of water. So in order to go to the side of the city, which wasn't fortified, but it also wasn't on the water, they carried they kind of pulled, I suppose, they dragged their ships over the land from the from the Bosphorus Strait across a bit of land into the Golden Horn. And then they would be able to attack the vulnerable side of the city without being known. Is that correct?
Yeah, and the key part was that, I don't know if you mentioned it, but there was actually I've got a nice little diagram here.
So they must have dragged the ships a few kilometers, bro, like multiple kilometers. I want to say 10 kilometers.
I'm trying to bring it up. The important part was that they had like a chain in the water that would stop boats going through, which is the whole reason why they had to go across, right?
Oh, as a defensive mechanism.
Yeah, so they could like lower this chain and it was like a blockade essentially.
Yes.
Let me try and open this. Boom, to give a bit of a diagram.
Okay, I'm sharing. Yeah.
You can see that, yeah?
Yeah.
So you can see this chain. So this is essentially the city.
Yeah.
They were trying to attack from here. Initially on land with cannons and stuff, and they created like the biggest cannon that the world had ever seen at the time.
The mother of all cannons.
Mother of all cannons. But with a mother of all cannons comes a mother of all problems because they can't. It basically can only fire a significant amount of times before it explodes and just breaks and cracks and stuff. So that kind of happened. Yeah. There's so many times you just think, how are they going to do this? Like, how are they going to get through this? This is ridiculous. They're like the 23rd or 24th army to have attempted to take over Constantinople.
Yeah.
So it's just like, what? And then, so these walls here are the strongest, the ones on land, but then the ones by the ocean, by the water, aren't as strong. And you can imagine typically that's because they're having to build on the coastline as opposed to on solid ground. And then to get boats in this way, there's like this chain that they've got.
So the
where they
boats
can-
couldn't get into the Golden Horn, basically.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, they couldn't get into the Golden Horn. They could choose to lower it and raise it
Yes.
as they
For
see fit,
friendly
which
ships,
means they can't get people in there. However, this little sort of whatever you want to call it, city on this side
Yes.
was a city-state. I think it was called Galata. So it was a separate city-state.
That's
an
where the
autonomous
Galata
city-state.
Tower is today, yeah.
Right. So it was an autonomous city-state that basically did business with both. It did business with Constantinople, but also did
Cheeky,
business with the Ottomans.
Yeah.
And they basically said to him, they said to the leader of that city-state, like, don't say anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, listen, we're going to do something. You're not saying anything.
So the Byzantines weren't really on that side of the water.
No.
They were only on the other side. Right.
Absolutely.
So that's why they didn't find out.
Right, exactly. So they went, there was like a mountain here.
Yeah.
They went behind the mountain, chopped down all the trees over a few weeks, I think. And then got like tallow, so like animal fat.
Yes.
And like smeared it all over the ground and stuff and the boats. And then apparently in a day,
that's a lot.
In
of
one
beef.
day, in one day they dragged one night or one day, whatever it was, dragged the boats over by manpower and also horses and cattle and whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Got to the tip of the hill, and then apparently when they got to the other side of the hill, it kind of just slid down anyway into the water.
Sick. That would be the ride of a lifetime.
Absolutely. There's this really cool shot in the docudrama where some of the soldiers are looking over this wall, and they can just sort of see in the distance trees falling down. They don't know what's going on.
Bro, you start to think all kinds of things,
Bro, but then they wake up, and then there's this shot of Constantine in the morning waking up and looking over the wall and just seeing all the Ottoman boats in the, what is it, the Bosphorus Strait? Is that what it's called?
No, that's Golden Horn,
Oh, the Golden Horn, sorry, this body of water here.
Yeah.
But
and
anyway.
too late by then.
Too late by then. They don't necessarily break down this wall, but it definitely does spread their already thin defenses across. So
that's incredible.
But just those kind of ideas, bro. Those kind of like...
That's like out of the box thinking, right? Because normally, I guess they would not even consider doing that because it's just too ambitious. But
absolutely, man.
If you want to do something that 24 armies haven't been able to do before, then you got to do it differently.
100%. Yeah, man.
And I remember one thing, because on that image you were showing, you can't actually see the Bosphorus Strait, right? Because it's a little bit further to the east. But the Bosphorus Strait, I believe they took control of that. They built a fortress on either side of it. Yeah. So no ships could pass through without them allowing it. Yeah. And they control some of the trade that way and stuff. And one of those fortresses they built, you can visit it now. And it's a pretty good thing to visit, actually. I've been there a couple of times. And you get a nice view of the Bosphorus, and you get to see the actual fortress, and you get to see all the different cannons they used, different sizes of cannons and stuff. So I like that. Last time I looked at it, it was under renovation. But it's called Rumeli Hisaro. Yeah, it's really good.
Turkish is getting good, fam. Turkish is getting very good. That's it, man.
That's one thing as well. It's crazy, bro. I'm gonna learn Turkish, bro.
Right, is that it? You've
I've got to learn Turkish.
Bullet.
No, like I always intended to, as the listeners might know. But I even went on one of them websites, italki, one of these language learning websites where you get a teacher. I was like, look, let me commit. So I bought credits on the website. So I was like, look, I've already paid, And then I did a test lesson with a guy. I'm like, yeah, this guy's good enough. I just didn't do it, bro. So, and then what happens is, this is like people that move to new countries and stuff, they'll relate. Like, for example, I'm 6 months into my visa. I'm like, oh, will my visa get renewed? What's the immigration policy situation here? I'm like, I'm not going to learn Turkish and then get booted out and all that, right? But what I realized, bro, is, so inshallah, I'm going to renew my visa. Then I know I have a whole year at least. And I'm going to start from January, whatever, inshallah, learning Turkish. And within 6 months or whatever, it should be much better, inshallah. And another thing I think, bro, is a lot of countries, I think, if you really want to stay, you can always find a way. Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, especially if it's like the US or something like that, okay, maybe I don't know how tough they are. I mean, I know they have a lot of illegal immigrants there, so I don't know. But assuming you don't want to live the illegal immigrant lifestyle, yeah, I think there are a lot of ways to stay, you know. So I know, for example, in Turkey, I can find ways. Like there's multiple avenues. So if you really want to stay, then there's ways. Yeah, obviously money helps, but yeah.
If you could move anywhere else apart from Turkey, where would you go?
I don't know, bro. I keep telling people it's got to be Turkey or Algeria. That's all I can think of.
Really?
I can't think of anywhere else. Where can I go?
You didn't like the UAE, did you?
I did at the time.
And then got blacklisted.
The UAE, look, bro. I've been getting homesick.
Reputation.
I've been getting homesick recently. I think I want to go for a little trip sometime.
Yeah.
But the UAE, this is my conclusion of UAE. It's good, bro, if it's you and your wife or just single guy. You want to like live comfortable, safe country, lots of masajid, all of that. Have access to everything you want. And it's good, bro. Like, I'm not going to knock it. But I can't bring my kids up there. That's what I feel. I feel like the environment is too materialistic, consumeristic, and it's so everywhere that I feel like I couldn't get them out of it. So
yeah, I feel you. And
money just doesn't go very far there compared to many other countries.
Yep.
So it's like, let's say you're homeschooling and you live in Dubai. Let's say you're in Dubai, yeah, because a lot of the activities and the network and the people will be in Dubai. So sometimes it's like a paradox. It's better to live in a big city than a small city, but a big city has issues that small cities don't have in it, like whatever, global culture, maybe crime is higher in bigger cities, blah, blah, blah. But the network and the people that you might want to meet and friends for your kids and all that will be in bigger cities. So it's like paradoxical, right? But to live to get all these activities for your kids or school for your kids or this and that, bro, I think you need at least 5K a month. You need at least 5K a month for those things. And then there's levels to it as well. Like it's easy to spend 10K a month in Dubai, I feel, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of like London, maybe. Kind of like London. Even though I listened to Freshly Rounded, Kaya and Faisal were talking about...
Recently?
No, like a few months ago, maybe.
Oh, right.
They were talking about the cost of living difference, Dubai and London. And yes, Dubai is cheaper than London, for sure. But like on average, yeah, some things are more expensive in UAE. But on average, Dubai is cheaper, maybe by 30%, something like that. But doesn't mean it's cheap. And I just think I know too much, bro. I know what I can live on in Turkey. I know what I can live on in Algeria. And I don't want to go back to that life.
Yeah. I feel you.
Bro, when I've got a butler, bro, I won't have a butler in UAE. It's not possible.
Oh, man. Do you know what? Actually, now you say it, I'd like to live in... Well, actually, yeah. There's nice places everywhere. There's nice places in Tunisia. There's nice places in Morocco. What I would love to do is just go Morocco, Tunisia, like 3 months here, 3 months there, 3 months here, 3 months there. Just do that.
This is underrated, I think, like doing a 9-month, 3-month split, something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God, that's all I want to do, bro. Because I actually, like, Tunisia is nice. There's a lot of work involved because I've got a lot of work to do there. But that's fine. That's good. It's fulfilling work. It's the kind of work that I feel like, oh, alhamdulillah, I'm sorting this out.
The family estate.
Yes, you know. Well, anyway, God, that makes me sound a lot wealthier than we are. And then Morocco's like, I go there, bro. I got no responsibilities, bro. Just chilling. You know what I mean? Like my grand's house, alhamdulillah, and like family, and it's a nice area and stuff. So yeah, man. And that's the thing. I don't think I could do what you're doing. I can't live anywhere that I can't speak the language. I'll visit, but I would not be able to stay there long term. I'd feel isolated. I'd feel really like, I don't know, handicapped.
Right? Well, I was talking to my wife about Turkey versus Algeria, like last week. And I was telling her, like, it's not about Turkey versus Algeria, because Turkey versus Algeria, I actually believe Algeria would win on that comparison for me.
Right. Yeah.
But it's this specific area I live in versus Algeria. And that's where it wins.
Femtic.
That's where it wins. Because the first language of where I live is like Arabic. So I do speak the local language.
Yeah, I understand that.
Right? Honestly, like, I'm exaggerating because there's so many things like your internet provider, you're this, you're that, it's Turkish only. But yeah, أنا ندبر راسي, to be honest, yeah.
ايوه دبر راسك يا اخويا غير مشي للجزائر. Have a nice time. فهمتني؟
لا ندبر راسي بالتركي يعني, you know.
بالتركي.
Like when they call me, I can get the gist, I can reply this and that. So
I don't even know any Turkish, bro. That's the thing. I did have some Turkish food yesterday. My missus made a very nice beiti kebab, I think it was. Very, very nice. Very good.
Beiti, yeah.
Yes.
Bro, you know,
very good with that stuff.
Turkish food in UK is different to Turkey. I don't know what it is. I think the meat is different, or they put MSG on it or something.
MSG, where? It's worse in England?
They put MSG in UK, I feel. Like, it tastes better.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I love some MSG, bro.
Yeah.
Come on.
It tastes delicious.
I got a whole bag of it, bro. Just sprinkle it on stuff.
Do you, yeah?
Yeah, bro.
Okay, yeah.
Absolutely, bro. That adds the flavor, man.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah. Bro, you got into a little bit of hot water recently. You put out a little clip and it was a little bit controversial, bro.
Go on, what was it?
So it was a little clip you put up on YouTube.
I don't even know, you know. you have to tell me.
I saw the clip, right? And I was like, Ameen, this is gonna start war. And then I read the comments, and they're all negative comments. And then someone said, "Oh, this is actually from a video, and it's kind of taken out of context." And then I remembered what video it was. Yeah, I remembered what video it was about. And then I was like, "Oh, okay." In the context of that video, I understand.
I did an Andrew Tate, didn't it?
Bro, you were riling up people, I swear. But maybe you should explain what your video was, what your little clip was.
All I know, bro, is that the title was "Should Men Do House Chores" or something like that. Yeah. But I don't remember what was in the video, because I made that video, the original video, Yanni, probably a month or two ago.
Yeah.
I put it out, and then the clip was made. I didn't make the clip. Someone made the clip. Then I posted the clip. So I don't even know what's in the clip.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the clip was about, like, God, let me water it down as much as I can.
Well, wait, so the original video, the original video was, I was responding or reacting to a kind of YouTube short that I found, or that I came across, where it's like, damn, I mean, it's better if you just watch it to really understand, but it's basically like, okay, to assume they had good intentions, it was like they wanted to send a message of like, it's okay for a man to help around the house or something, and the Prophet ﷺ would help in the house. But the way they did it was in a very humiliating way towards the man in it. So it's like a man and his wife are in the video, like kind of doing a skit or something. But it was just like, like literally humiliating to the guy fully.
Yeah. I came across that video before. I didn't like it. And then I also thought in my head, do you know, I wouldn't even like it the other way around if it was a man putting it on the woman. Like, I think both.
Yeah, no one likes humiliation, bro.
Yeah, both are wrong. Both shouldn't have happened. It's worse, that it's a guy, but like the whole skit culture with couples just frustrates me. I feel your rage.
Yeah. Like,
go on with your message.
It was awful, bro. So I just made a video, and the first thing I said in my video was what? I said, anyone who's like sane would hate this video because it's humiliating someone. No one likes to see that being humiliated. And then I think the bit where, like I said many different things, but towards the end, I said, look, and I think this is what was in the clip. I said, a man should be the object of respect in the household, right? And he shouldn't like feel like he's got to do these chores, that chores. But if he wants to do the chores, that's good. Like the Prophet ﷺ would do chores or help in the house. Wasn't that what I was saying?
Yeah, pretty much. I think without that video in there, without the video as a foundation.
That's what I guessed happened,
Yeah, it kind of comes across as you're just coming out saying.
Yeah. And that's why
I don't want to do chores. I don't have to do chores. No, do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, depending on the no, actually, I just remembered, you see, I've actually changed my body language. I sat up now, you know, so it's different energy. So I was talking about the context of, if a man's going out to work all day and his wife's not working, then why should a man have to do that? But if he wants to do it, it's good. I think that's what I was saying. And I meant to reply to those comments and say, here's the link to the full video, and just see if you still feel the same way after watching the full video. But I haven't done that yet.
Yeah. Check it out, guys. Check out that video and leave your hate mail on Ameen Omar's YouTube channel.
Yeah. I think there's a concept, I don't know what psychology, this and that it comes from, but there's a concept of like, there is the reality, and then there's the story that you tell yourself about the reality. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I say men do this, women should do that, whatever I say,
yeah,
because of the culture we live in, people will take that, which is the reality, and they will add their story to it. Yeah. So if I say, why should a man should be object of respect, for example, they will take their story and turn it into, I'm saying something worse or bad or whatever. But the reality is, maybe I was saying something they agree with, but because of the story in their head, they misunderstand it, they interpret it, and they add emotion to it and so many things, and that's why there's arguments and comments and all that like that. So that's the nature of it. It's like I believe it's it's done so well that it's almost engineered. The way there's this men versus women culture, it's almost engineered, bro, like how well it's going in terms of messing up families and stuff.
Well, you've had like 10, 20, 30 years of competition, industrialized competition, institutionalized competition, if you want to call it that, of feminism that has sought to try and, it claims to try and create a level playing field for men and women. But to do that, you must empower women to catch up to men. But that empowering doesn't stop. It will carry on. Like, you can't, it's like that toy that you wind up and let it go, bro. It's going to keep going. You can't control it once it's gone. You can't empower a whole gender and then stop when they become equal. All that empowerment carries on until it exceeds.
I suppose, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Until it exceeds. You can't just get to the point, we're equal now. All right, everyone calm down. That's it. No. What do you mean you want support and all this stuff? No. All those support structures will always be in place. There's some video, I think they were sharing it in Mind Heist, and in the sister's Mind Heist, my wife was playing the video while I was driving. I could hear it in the background, something about the male inequality or something like that. It was quite deep, and they shared it in our normal Mind Heist group, Telegram group. Feel free to join it. It was quite profound. But like suicide rates among men, lack of purpose. One of the things I said to my wife the other day was that, alhamdulillah, that I have many women in my family that all rely upon me, right? And it might not be that they don't rely upon me like financially, all of them. They don't all rely on me financially, but they definitely rely on me as like, okay, I'm the only guy. So if there was, I needed to be there, exactly. But there's a lot of men that don't have that, and because they don't have that, then they lack purpose. It's not like there's a war around the corner or there's danger, perpetual danger outside, and they're in constant need of protection and. I've got to sleep with a baseball bat under my pillow, that kind of thing. If push came to shove, yes, I'd be the person they'd rely on for that. But in peace and prosperity, what's left for a man to do that a woman isn't doing, generally speaking? If they're working, if there's peace, security in the city, whatever. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So
it's part of the it seems to be that humans need to feel needed.
Yeah. Maybe it's not just you. Well, in a particular way. Yeah, I think so. I don't know if you've ever felt down as a man or depressed or whatever it is, but like that, the feeling that you'll get that hurts men the most is that feeling of uselessness. Like, I just feel useless.
Yes.
And I think I've felt that at my lowest, where I just feel like I'm no good for anybody because I'm not achieving anything for anybody that I want to achieve.
For sure.
And I think that's what's important. And it speaks to the male psyche, really, to be useful to those that you love and useful to those that you care about, those that you want to provide for. And I think the video that, funnily enough, because I said that to my wife, and then the video was playing, and that's what the researcher or whoever was talking in the video said. He said, like, the number one thing, a feeling that was reported by men who have attempted suicide or are engaging in that kind of dark realm, was this feeling of uselessness, this feeling of not having any worth. And it just speaks to the dynamic of society, because the role is no longer exclusive. The role is no longer, you know what I
I've
mean?
thought about this, bro. Like, I did question that. Like, why does the role need to be exclusive for, you know, for us to? I think it's. I'm actually coming to a conclusion myself. Like, I think it's because I want to be useful to a woman or women, yeah. And if they're already not in need of that because they're doing it themselves, then I lose that use, isn't it? That's probably why.
But and it's also because what women are very, very good at, they many of them, not all of them, obviously, many of them have sidelined that or delayed that, which is the care and nurture and being able to be mothers, right? That's, of course, you're great at that. You are literally created with those capabilities that men don't have. Yeah. So, of course, obviously, not every woman can have children. We're not saying that, but we're talking about the mainstream, the norm, whatever you want to call it. Just like not every man can get out and work or defend his family. You understand? Not every man is physically capable of doing that whatsoever. Some men have disabilities. Some men have learning difficulties. So, yes, there's going to be outliers here and there. But we're talking about we're
always talking about averages generally.
Yeah, the averages generally. So, of course, a man who cannot provide those things because everything's taken care of, what else can they do? There's the woman might earn more than him or the same as him. All his teachers are women. His boss is a woman. He's got to ask permission every time he wants holiday. Do you know what I mean? Every time he wants to go pray for Eid or whatever. Maybe somewhat demasculating. I mean, generally that extends further. Even if your boss was a man and you've got to ask permission, that's kind of another thing for another day, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think that, like, even the support that's out there, like look at like mental health support groups and stuff. So many for women, but hardly any for men. Hardly any that are out there for men. Even like domestic violence and stuff, to the point where you're getting, domestic abuse from your partner, wife, whatever. But you're way less likely to be believed, or there isn't that support out there for you, or wherever it is. And actually, considering it's probably the embarrassment as well. You don't want that to get out, which is why you're stuck in that kind of relationship in the first place, right? Or whatever kind of threat there is above that. Like imagine you were in that situation, or I was in that situation, and with the kind of culture that surrounds Muslim men, imagine how embarrassed you would feel. For that to come out. So you would kind of just put up and shut up. Because it's easier, right? So yeah, man, there's so many deep, complex issues regarding all of this. But you can write a book about it.
Yeah. I've been reminded recently of how powerful status is as a desire. Yeah. For us, like, and actually, I realized that by going on Instagram. Oh yeah. So I don't know if I did a debrief on Instagram, but the last couple of months I've been, I think like maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I made an Instagram account. And then a couple of months ago, I got it on my phone. And yeah, I think initially I gave myself like a 2-3 hour window where it would unblock, and the intention was that, for example, sometimes when you tag me on the clips.
Videos, yeah.
Yeah, I can't do that from the computer. So I was like, okay, let me just do that, blah, blah, blah. So obviously in using it, I realized okay, how do people use it? What's the kind of stuff that goes up on there? I was really not aware completely, to be honest. Yeah. And it drove me mad.
Did it?
It drove me mad. Like, I've got a whole list, but firstly, I don't know how you escape women on that thing.
I think your algorithm sucks, bro. That's what it is.
Yes, but put it like this, yeah. If you're going on it and you go into Muslim stuff, you're going to get men and women Muslim stuff, yeah. Then, if you stick to the men stuff, you're going to just start getting men Muslim stuff, I guess, right?
Yeah.
But if you don't strictly stick to the men stuff, you're going to get both.
Right.
And I would imagine that is naturally going to happen. Yeah. In terms of you're going to end up getting men and women Muslim stuff. You're going to get a bit of, I don't know, it depends what you're into, car stuff. And
yeah, definitely.
The point is, I don't think you're ever going to, like, 95% of people are not going to get a clean feed. Okay. So that's a big killer for me. The other thing is that I just realized, bro, how much is about status. That's what I was saying. Every single reel or post on there is trying to show people their status, even if it's like clothed in something else. And I realized, like, even, bro, this podcast is full of that. Yeah. Let me try and see an example. Like, okay, we started the episode talking about, like, I was like, oh, my webcam, I don't have my webcam. I'm just arrived from England. Yeah. Maybe in my world, being like traveling, this and that, it raises my status. Like, I want to be like, I identify as that. I want to see it, like, be seen as that. Right. So I'm trying to raise my status just by talking about that topic, for example. Yeah. Not to ruin the podcast for people, but I'm saying this happens naturally, but it just seems that Instagram is not Instagram, but like these social media where you just put little clips of things out. Not so much the long form stuff. Yeah. It's just perfectly designed for that. And it's like every single thing I can just see through it. It's like, okay, you're putting a hadith, but you're trying to show how you look, or how you work out, or how strong you are, or how rich you are. Like, literally, I'll tell you something nuts. Yeah. And I'm sure everyone has seen this. You see a girl puts up a reel full of makeup, dressed up, this and that, and it's literally got an ayah on it. And it's like, yeah, I'm doing reminders. And I'm just like, whoa. Like,
you're brilliant.
Like, like maybe this has been going on for years, but like I said, I was out of the loop. And now I get on it, I'm just like, yo, this is crazy. Like, this is literally, what's the word? Yeah. Dichotomy. Yeah, it's like the opposite. The opposite being put together in one thing, one real thing. Yeah, like reel or post. Yeah. I can't get my head around it, bro. I can't get my head around it. And then you got like guys just posting like, yeah, get your workout in, it feels good. And the guy's got his like top off and he's like doing pull-ups and stuff. And I'm just like, I don't want to like hate, but it's just a theme. It was so, because you know when you're outside of the bubble and then you go into it, then you start to notice things like patterns very quickly. So I just noticed that everything's just about status. Look at me, I'm doing this, I'm like that, I'm this, I'm that. I'm gone, bro. I can't use it. I realize even how it'll make you compare, it'll make you hate yourself, it'll make you this, it'll make you that. All the stuff that people have been talking about, like in the mainstream culture, about how social media is bad for your health and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I guess I experienced it for a little window. And and I'm done with it. I don't see any benefit in my life, really.
God, all I get on it is like Jim Dean.
Well, there you go. One's trying to show off about their ibadah, and the other one's showing off about their body. What the hell?
Dean. I keep getting loads of videos of Mecca, Medina, reminder, Sheikh reminder, Medina. That's an advert. Oh, here's one.
Yeah.
A reminder of another reminder. But they're not just reminders, like they're just videos in the background. Should we do it? Should we do a social experiment?
Go on.
Experiment.
This is actually Tweet's feed. He's got no shame about it.
We've got Abu Taymiyyah coming up. And then we got, it's Medina.
Yeah.
And then that's Mecca. Oh, it's Abu Taymiyyah again.
But wait, bro, go back to the Mecca one.
Oh.
Yeah. Who posted that? Is it a generic page?
It's a lady.
Okay, so she's trying to show off that she's in Mecca. Okay, go on.
She might not be.
Well, I'm just saying this is what basically happening.
It does say POV. It says POV.
Okay, well there you go.
Abu Taymiyyah there.
Yeah.
Give a mind.
What's this? The ad?
Seems like some sort of design thing. I don't know.
Okay. Diesel prices. Okay, that's an ad.
Skit. A recitation, I think. Is that recitation?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a recitation. More nature stuff. Oh, a horse. This must be
AI. AI generated horse.
Some sort of
graphic design stuff.
Yeah. I don't get that much stuff anymore. We'll do a few more. That looks like just something. Oh, another reminder. Norman Ali Khan. Some sort of productivity stuff. And Al-Quds.
You see that one before, the productivity stuff? That one, that kind of stuff drives me nuts.
Bro, you need to do a day. I was going to ask you earlier, when are you going to do your day in a life video, bro?
Yeah.
Come on. Just set the camera up.
I find it.
You set the camera up, bro.
Go on.
You go into your bed. You pretend you're asleep.
Yeah, yeah.
You get up. Oh, it's Fajr time. And it's good.
Yeah.
You walk off.
Go and have my ice bath.
Walk off camera and then come back. Take the camera away.
Yeah.
Chop that clip up a bit so it doesn't look like you came back for the camera.
Yeah.
The worst ones are when they're walking out and outside. So they've clearly put the camera down, walked half a mile back, and then walked back to the camera again. I get it. It's cinematography. Making a movie, right? That's how movies are made. Do you think movies are real? I mean, everybody's cinematographer now.
Yeah. There's a fine line between can't remember what I was going to say, but yeah, drive me nuts, bro. I don't know. It's like, that was it. Vanity. Yeah. Vanity. That's what like, so what I'm used to is people are more subtle about things. That's what people are more subtle. But when you go on Instagram, it's so obvious what they're trying to show about themselves that it's cringe, if you know what I mean.
All right.
It's like, it's not, I don't know, just like maybe, for example, a normal vlog, this and that, like, okay, I'm doing this and that, yeah? It's not that anymore. Now it's like just a 5-second video of my face in the most perfect lighting with so many filters on. And so the vlog was a way where you want to show how you look. Oh, look at me, I look great, yeah? But now it's 5 seconds and it's just showing your face with no value at all. And it becomes so much more clear that all I want to do is get your validation that I look good and raise my status amongst people. You know what I mean? So it's so direct that it's cringe. And I remember I watched a Vice documentary. This guy went to a TikTok house, yeah, where all these TikTokers, they live together and they're trying to they work together, collab to get bigger and all that. And they've got a manager and all this. So he was talking to these guys, they're like 20-year-olds in America. He's like, why do you want to be on TikTok? Why are you doing this? Bro, what would, let's say you go to, go back 30 years, yeah, speak to a musician, whatever, rapper, and say, why do you do this? They'd be like, yeah, I just love it. You know, I grew up, my mom was playing music and blah, 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 and I just love it, yeah? Yeah? Yeah. Or like, whatever, same with the jazz, whatever, rock and roll, this and that, yeah? Or they might have a story about, yeah, when I was depressed, music was my escape and I just got into it and it just blah, blah, blah. But these TikTok people, you know what their reason for doing it is? I want money and fame. And they just say it direct to the face. Like, that's what I'm here for.
What about the Muslim ones? Do you know what's in their heart, bro? You know what's in their heart?
I'm just talking about how direct people are, you know what I mean? Like,
you need to fix your algorithm. Give me your phone for a week, I'll sort it out.
I don't even want it, bro. Even the that's what I'm saying. Even the quote unquote Dean stuff, I don't want it. It's all trying to show off in different ways, more subtle maybe.
We are no longer posting clips of Ameen on Instagram because he hates it.
Yeah,
that's where we get you. You hate it, but you'll post on there, bro. Post on YouTube Shorts. Post on YouTube. Bro, why do little kids want to be YouTubers? Because they want to be rich and famous, bro. Same thing.
Yeah.
But everybody's going to have a different intention. You know what? Like, I was fascinated this week. I don't know what it was. I think it's because I started liking stuff on Instagram that I didn't used to do. I started liking. So like, there was this really powerful reminder. Someone obviously edited together nicely from a sheikh, and I just hit me really hard. And I was like, boom! I need to I shared it. I liked it. And then I got another one, bro. I was like, oh, do you know what? I'm going to keep sharing and liking these. And then that was it. My algorithm just changed, bro. And that's why, like, if you look now, like we just did, how many reminders popped up? And actually, sometimes that's all I need. Little 3-minute, 2-minute, boom, boom, boom. That was good. That was like a little boost for me. Let me carry on. And I know it's short attention span and whatever. But sometimes that's all I've got time for. I ain't got time for a whole long lecture. So yeah, man, and it can be addictive. But bro, I remember the other day, like whatever it was, that clip that I listened to, and I'm still feeling the benefit of it now. Yeah, and I try and share some of them anyway on my Instagram anyway. But yeah, I just thought, subhanAllah, that's really, really powerful. And they're obviously ones that people have put up, and it's not them that put them up. It's not the person who's running that account hasn't put themselves up. They've put a sheikh or a student of knowledge or whatever up. And you'd like to think their main objective is to take a share of those rewards for sharing that, you know, and I think that's fascinating. But no, I get you.
No, let me be. No, I'm not bashing like every single individual who is posting on there or whatever. Yeah, I'm just saying the pattern that I noticed was this. That's what I'm saying. And I also just noticed that my life before using it was better than during using it, you know?
Yeah, you don't need it, bro. It's interesting though, because this stuff would have been wild when we were at school. So it'd be interesting to see how different kids are with this kind of stuff going on. Like we've said it many, many times before, but like social media kind of started properly towards the tail end of our education, you know, if at all. Certainly not like now, but like all this like what do you want to call it, like personality shaping content almost, you know,
branding, personal brand.
It's branding, but it's like, okay, like you know, how many times have I seen like clips of people jumping in ice baths and telling me to challenge myself and do things and make myself uncomfortable and all this stuff. Every other clip is like an ice bath clip. But like that kind of thing, right? That didn't exist when I was younger.
Yeah,
I probably could have done with someone telling me that though. Honestly, some of the stuff that like's out there in terms of like trying to get people motivated and like just disciplined and like get off your backside and do what needs to be done. Yeah, I definitely needed someone to grab me and tell me that when I was young, but there was no one around me to tell me that. You know, no one around me to tell me that. And I think that's why, bro, there's some young people now with an absolute hunger to achieve things in the world. Like I was speaking to a 14-year-old kid the other day, 14-year-old kid, bro, and he was just like crazy, like working his butt off, trying to get a business started and getting some money together and all this stuff. His biggest obstacle was the fact that he wasn't 18, like to get, you know, paperwork and banks and all this other, you know, all this sort of stuff that he needs to be over 18 for. That was his biggest obstacle. I was like, dude, like when I was 14, you know, I was doing nothing important. I promise you that, like nothing important. And I think there's a vibe with that.
Do you think that's good fully, or what do you think?
I think it's I think young boys, I can't speak for girls. I don't know what the female content creation side of things looks like, but young boys have access to role models now, you know, and young boys maybe are growing up in a sort of hungry kind of, like they're hungry for that. And yeah, we could speak about Andrew Tate and all that kind of stuff again. And, you know, even on the Muslim side, you could speak about like Gabriel Romani appealing to that kind of demographic of young men. But it's seeing people, even if it is performative, even if it is a day in the life video or a kind of, oh, look at me, I'm jumping in an ice bath kind of thing. It's showing people something they can aspire to be like. Because before it was just movies, right? Before it was just, oh, this action movie and Sylvester Stallone and Rocky and Terminator and whatever. But there's something there that it's an act, like a proper act. They don't live their life like this. They've got all the money in the world. Seeing people that don't have all the money, but like jumping in a bucket. I keep going back to the ice baths, but you know what I mean? Or getting up for a run in the morning, or challenge themselves or achieving something, like everyday people, literally everyday people. That's motivating to young men. And I do see a value in that. I see a value of being able to just pick your role models and follow them, literally follow them. You click that follow button. That didn't exist in the past. You'd have to be fortunate enough to bump into someone, have an older brother or an older friend or whatever it is that you really wanted to be like, and they themselves were quite motivated and all that kind of stuff. And they took you under their wing in a way. You see what I mean? Yeah. There's benefit and poisons, and you've just got to be mature enough to.
I noticed that as well. I think I mentioned it before. Like I saw like 13-year-olds like, oh, I want to start a social media marketing agency.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yo.
What are you doing at
Like
13, bro?
my initial reaction was like, that's bad, right?
Oh, okay.
But I think, bro, you like anyone listen to the podcast, they know I'm into like working from young age. Like, I think that's a good thing. I think I was deprived of that, and it would have been good for me to do that. Blah blah blah. I think working, exerting effort is good. It's just what I sense from these kids is that they feel an enormous burden and stress and pressure over having to become rich and having to do it pretty quick, and almost like the reason they're so tenacious about it is because they feel they have no worth without it.
Yeah, that could be it, yeah.
That would be the negative side. The good side is putting in effort. Like, that's great. And like, imagine the learning you'll do. You're trying to start a social media agency at 13, 14. That would be great, just putting in the work. But the reason that they're doing it could be, you know, negative, dangerous kind of thing.
Yeah, I suppose they might not be at the age yet.
There's so much pressure, bro. There's so much pressure on these. And I'm fully in that world, by the way, on YouTube of like personal development, make money, business, all of that. And the standards being set are very high. And these people who set the standards high are also telling other people, they're not saying 13-year-olds, but they're just saying in general, even if you're young, you can do it like me. I was making 10K a month when I was 16. Like, they're saying these kind of things. So they're setting the thing really high. And so I think there's a good and bad to it. I think for my kid, like if you put it really down to a real life thing, I would much prefer, even though I'm in business myself, I would prefer my kids like just work for someone else until they're like, I don't know, maybe 18, depending on how much they've learned and developed, until 18, 20. I think it's really useful to just work, be told what to do and just do it and have that discipline and be forced to do things that you might not choose to do. And then you could have a phase of your life like that. And then you can have a phase of your life where you're now taking all those skills and knowledge and now you're actually doing a business. I think, both of those phases are good. And there's enough time in a lifetime usually to do both.
No, absolutely. I suppose, like I was going to say earlier, a lot of these youngsters haven't got a decent enough experience of what it's like to work for someone else, which then drives people to try and escape that. Because right now, you're right, maybe they are working because they feel like they have no worth without the money and they can't compete with, you know, their peers or those that are slightly older than wearing like designer brands and fancy cars and all this sort of stuff. So I appreciate that. I think it's a different kind of motivation or drive when you've worked for somebody for so long. You get frustrated with the lack of freedom, the lack of even though like doing things on your own and trying to tread on that path probably take up even more of your time than a 9-to-5, right? Especially in the beginning. Yeah. But in the long term, you'd want to escape that.
Yeah. And there's a phase first. There's a phase after that as well, which is like, which I'm kind of going into now, which is like management.
Okay.
And like I'm realizing now, like I've been doing for years, but now managing, like I've managed people for years, but I'm realizing now to go to the next level, I need to become a good manager or leader. And that's a whole new skill set. And it's one that I'm weak on, which, I think I'm weak on anyway, because of my interpersonal skills, you know. So that's the next phase, Yanni, you know, because once you become good at doing, then to kind of scale your work, then you hire people to scale it, but then you need to manage those people. And if you want to do something where you're at scale, you know, you got whatever, either money making or just like having an effect in the world, you need to manage people to do that.
Yeah.
And you can, the first thing is to get rid of the task. The second thing is to automate it with a software or something. And then the third thing would be to delegate it if you can't do the first two. So when you delegate, it means you need to hire. And so to just have any like big impact, you kind of need to be good at managing. So now I need to go from being good at doing to being good at managing. Yeah.
May Allah make it easy for you. Grant you the skills you need.
I mean,
and Quran, you know, take you from success to success. It's
Sure.
all about a journey. Can't stop learning. One day you're gonna have to learn how to retire. Can you do that? You think you can manage that? Can you
Don't
stop
want it.
yourself from working? Oh, boring. Come on, man. I want to retire right now. Let's
What?
retire. Come, bro. As long as things are paid and everyone's fed. Let me put my feet up. Come on, baby. I want to put my feet up. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. You got big dreams, bro. I just want to dream for real.
No, I mean, the thing is, bro, I think when you retire, obviously I'm talking about that retirement mindset, right? I think you die.
Thanks.
Don't die, bro.
May Allah grant us a good death, bro, and may it only take us when He's pleased with us.
I mean,
if He's pleased with me, then I'll die happily.
yes, retire
You know
or
what I mean?
without retired.
Just take me. If He's pleased with me, just take me.
Yes.
I want to slip and trip, bro.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Maybe next episode we can talk about the personality test that I took.
Oh yeah.
I took a personality test 5 years ago, and it's you know the usual Myers-Briggs, which is INTJ, blah blah blah. Yeah. There's another one which is used the Big Five model, which I took it through Jordan Peterson's thing.
Oh, that thing.
He's got a sick domain. It's like understandingmyself.com.
Wow.
Quite sick. So I took it through that. That was 5 years ago. And so we can go through it. I've got some interesting extremes in my personality, apparently. I think quite a bit of it would be different now. So maybe I'll do an updated one, because it's $10 a pop, you know, not that bad. And I also bought, I'm giving this Zionist load of money, bro.
What's going on?
I bought his...
Get him off the podcast. That's it. Boot him off.
I bought his... he's got this self-authoring thing.
Right.
It sounded very interesting to me. It's like past authoring. So you do some writing exercises that will allow you to understand previous traumas, or just like where you came from experientially and culturally. And then you've got present authoring, which is understanding yourself now. And then future authoring, which is writing exercises to, I don't know, like plan your future or something like that, project your future. Yeah. I thought this seems like well thought out, and it's cheap, and I just grabbed it. So
yeah. There you go. Why not?
But I do feel like he's kind of gone down that Zionist path. I'm not sure, but it seems like it.
I've lost interest in him. I literally unfollowed everything and deleted him and off the face of the planet. I don't really care. I started falling off him anyway. And the final straw was when he had that final chat with Muhammad Hijab, and he's just like, "Oh, if Islam was true, would you accept it?" And he's like, "Nah." It's all right. Goodbye. Waste of time. See you later. Can't be bothered.
But were you following him for that anyway?
I wasn't. I don't know what I was following him for. No, I was following him like early when it was a bit more mild and a lot
more
less
interesting in other areas. Yeah.
When he was talking about psychology, when he was sticking to his remit.
Yeah.
That's what I cared about. Honestly.
Yes, exactly.
Well, what happened? He got Messiah complex. Started talking about everything.
Yeah.
Started talking about politics. Talk about religion. Suddenly he's talking about religion like he's an expert, bro. His domain, his arena was all I was interested in. Yeah. It's like me talking about flipping physics, astrophysics.
It's not that clear cut.
It is to me.
Because a lot of his psychology stuff was like social commentary. And social commentary has like no boundaries, really.
Oh, I guess so. But then he's just like shoehorning his opinion. It's not coming from like an academic kind of
that's true
perspective. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't coming from like, oh, this study was done and this showed this and blah, 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 and this, you know, whatever. And this academic said this. And I know he references Freud and Jung and all these things. But then we talk about religion and this stuff. He's just talking out of his backside about his own feelings as if he's a person of authority. Anyway, that's another story for another day.
Inshallah. So yeah, that's the personality thing. I think personality thing is quite interesting. Maybe
the DNA thing coming up, haven't we?
Yeah, so that's like a
DNA thing.
That's it. That's nurture and nature in one.
Oh yeah. I'm waiting for mine, bro. I don't know what's going on. I sent it on the 3rd, and it's still like in transit to the laboratory. Maybe they're cloning me.
Postal strike.
Yeah, it could be that as well.
Someone told me that the border force were on strike in the UK. Yeah, the people do passport control and all that. So my friend arrived when that was happening, and he said they had the army working there instead. I was like, all these kids, and they were just letting everyone in. They weren't really sure what to do,
yeah. Typical. Yeah, man, it's kind of crazy out here. No one's getting paid enough. Everybody's striking. It's just complete chaos. Societal collapse. Just escape if you can escape. Just get out there. Go to Turkey,
New Zealand, Chile.
New Zealand. Hamza, remember Dr. Hamza? He was on the podcast once when you were away.
Yeah.
He moved to Australia. He's in Australia now.
Oh, a lot of doctors do that from the UK, right?
Just don't speak to him at all anymore, unfortunately, because the
Time zone
difference.
Yeah.
I miss him so much. Hamza, if you're listening to this.
But why did he go? Was it for the money or the climate or what?
Don't know. Maybe we should get him on and have a chat, but we'll have to do a really late night episode.
Do you know what city he's in?
Oh, I did. I've forgotten. It was
probably all the Australians I know are really sick. MashaAllah.
Oh, may Allah grant them shifa, bro. I've got like SM Al Hakim sense of humor. I was watching a compilation of his jokes.
Yeah.
Bro, that joke where he says, may Allah promote you to an air conditioner. Bro, that floors me. That one
got me. Yeah. The guy says, I'm a big fan of yours. And then he says, may Allah promote you to an air conditioner.
Oh, bro. So this is what happens where we are fully dads, bro. These dad jokes. And people say, my sisters always say, that's such a dad joke. Yeah. I'm a dad, bro. I'm going to do that. I like that. It's funny.
Is that jokes. A dad joke? It's just...
I don't know, bro. It's just good to me.
I think that's an Arab joke.
It's clean.
Yeah.
It's good. It's solid. The delivery was perfect.
Yeah.
It's all the things that a joke needs to be. You know what I mean? Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. You don't like this. Alhamdulillah.
You keep doing that. Okay. Subhanak Allahumma bihamdik. Shadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum, kids.